You're listening to Liberty Lampoon episode number 21 with
21
Michael
and Aaron.
Yeah.
We got some cool shit this week, so give it a listen.
You're listening to Liberty Lampoon, where we
Liberty
lambaste politicians, public figures, policies, and print, all from a libertarian perspective. We're coming down. We're coming down from our New Year's high. I feel like we should probably discuss that at length. Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year!
This is there was an episode that came out last week that happened after
the New Year.
But
it was recorded before the New Year.
It was recorded before the New Year. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Happy New Year!
Yeah,
we're glad to be back in a new statist year.
Yes. Yeah.
Are the statists still in control?
The statists are still in control.
And it's a new status year.
Then it's a new status year, I guess.
Happy status year! Woo!
Yeah.
We all may be murdered later this year. You never know.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing some we're looking at doing some different things. Trying to keep it fresh. You know what I mean, Michael?
Fresh, like deodorant. Showers every day.
Yeah.
Wiping your ass.
I have like a thing in the shower that pulls off of the main shower head, and it's like an arm, and I just shove it right in between my butt cheeks, and I just spray it right in that nasty, stinking hole.
Gross.
Yeah, there you go.
That is really descriptive.
Welcome
really
back to Liberty Lampoon, guys. 2017. We're back.
Not getting any better. This year's getting worse.
Yeah. So the first thing that I wanted to do, though, like I said, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of an update. Me and Michael, we had a blast on New Year's Eve.
We had an amazing time.
Well, Michael did. Michael had a great time.
Yeah.
What he remembers was a great time.
Oh, God, it was awesome.
Let's talk about what Michael did for Liberty.
I got fucked up.
Okay, so number one, we went to this place in Tulsa.
Yeah, this bar.
That we're not going to talk about the name of it because we don't want to reveal. When we reveal what you did,
libertarian hideout. Well, there's nothing. Even if we reveal the name, there's nothing they can do.
What would they do?
Nothing.
Technically, you'd be a sex offender, right?
They'd have to have evidence of that.
Right. And the only two people... I would throw you under the bus immediately if they came to me and they asked me.
They'd have to have, surveillance video, which they may, but you wouldn't be able to see
we're bearing
anything.
the lead here, so let's go ahead and jump into this. So, Michael, we're in this bar, and it's kind of a rundown bar a little bit.
Well, to start the story off right... We started drinking about 6 o'clock, I think, 6:30.
Maybe a little earlier.
Yeah, and so we started off hella early over dinner, and it was great, and we just kept drinking. And so by this point, by the time we got there, it was probably like 10:30 or so.
10:30, yeah.
10:30, 11. And I was already feeling pretty buzzed.
No. It was like right at 10 because I remember we drank for a while there, and I was thinking, oh my God, it's only 10:30 because I was already starting to feel... the effects of the alcohol.
And the first little while we were there wasn't it was pretty busy, but it wasn't packed, so I could walk right into the bathroom and pee.
Right.
When I start drinking,
oh yeah, there was nobody there when we got there.
Incredible amount.
Yeah, it was like empty.
And so, the first few times I went and peed in the bathroom, and then there was one time, and I was feeling pretty good by this point, and I had to pee really bad, and then there was a line.
Oh, there was a huge line. And so I went in. Before this event that you're about to describe happened, I went and waited in the line, got into the bathroom.
Someone offered you some Coke?
Oh, yeah. That did happen twice. But anyways, I got into the bathroom and I walked up to the stall because I like to close the door because I have stage fright, micro penis or whatever. So I get up to the toilet and there was 5 guys went in there at the same time. It's just a stall in a urinal.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you guys all in here? And 2 guys got in the stall with me, like right behind me. And I was like, okay, I can't fucking go pee. And so I just flushed the toilet, pulled it back up, and the one guy, as I turned around, was like, did you even pee? I was like, that's none of your fucking business. You know? And then I went and washed your hands.
Market. I can pee.
I went and washed my hands, and that guy turns around while he's peeing, and he's like, why are you washing your hands? You didn't go pee. So that didn't happen. I just made that up. But that did happen, though. Like the whole part about me getting in the stall and two guys got in the stall with me. He didn't confront me about not peeing, though. I made that part
was nice. That was nice of him.
Yeah. But he did give me, he did judge me. I mean, he said it with his judgy eyes. You know what I mean?
His coked out, looking at me. Eyes.
I was like, this is what women feel like on a daily basis. You know, I am being oppressed right now.
Hashtag feminism.
Yeah. Anyways, so Michael.
I had to pee really bad, and I'm like, you know, I'm juking and jiving through the club.
Hashtag feminism.
Yeah.
What?
You said this is how women feel on a daily basis.
Oh, that cracks me up for some reason.
Aaron understands the struggle, women. Aaron understands.
Oh, there's a child screaming. That doesn't matter. Keep going.
It's okay. It's being murdered. It's fine.
So anyways, no, don't swat my house, okay? There's no child being harmed. It's just my son. He's just very excited.
Being harmed.
No, not being harmed.
I go and then I realize how long the line to the bathroom is, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to pee, and I'm not gonna be able to stand in this line. So I come back out on the back patio where you and Lacey are, and I'm like, I have to pee so bad, and the line's really long, and you had my drink.
I dared you.
And did you dare me to drink in the cup? Or pee in the cup?
I dared you to pee in the cup outside. You're like, dude, I'll do it. I don't care. It's like, you and Lacey just have to shield me.
So I finished with what's left in my cup, and then I was wearing a knee length coat anyways.
Right.
And so then you and Lacey,
we held up our jackets and made a human shield.
You both had kind of long coats on too.
Right.
And so we were like leaning up against the wall. You guys made like a human shield.
Right.
And I unzipped my pants.
And peed into the cup.
My dick out. Yeah. And luckily it was cold, so it was a little bit easier, more discreet.
Yeah, I was like looking at my wife. I was like, eyes up here, look in my eyes. Don't look down.
She was behind me anyway. So so I just kind of set it in the cup and I pee, and I'm like, I took a second for it to get going, but then once I did, I was like, oh yeah. And then I guess you thought I was joking and I was just acting out the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then when I get done, I'm like, okay, hold on. And so I put it away and I zip up my pants, and then I turn around and I hold up this cup full of piss.
You tried to hand it. You were like, can you hold this real quick? I could have zipped up my pants. Something like that. And then you went around high-fiving people and like, I didn't wash my hands. No, because you told people what you did, and they were like, that's awesome, and they went to high-five you, and then you would hit their hand and be like, I didn't wash my hands either.
Yeah, well, then I remember, because they have that small section where there's all that dead grass.
Right.
So I went and dumped it in that dead grass and then threw the cup away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
grass is dead because people piss in cups and dump it right there. That's why.
Or bottles.
Or bottles, yeah, who knows.
But, so that was how we started off New Year's before even New Year's even came around.
Yeah.
And then
I got crazy on the dance floor a little bit. I danced a little bit.
And then
shook my booty.
We met. Yeah, the music was really good. I was surprised. Well, I'm not surprised because it was New Year's Eve. But and then we ran into our friend out in the street.
That was crazy. Yeah, we ran into a friend of ours out in the street. Shout out to Benja.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in quite some time. And then,
anyways, what were you saying?
So, anyways, we ran into our friend Ben outside, and then I hadn't seen him in quite some time, and I don't know how long it had been since you guys saw him. So anyway, so he was like, hey, my friend decided not to come downtown. We were like, come hang out with us. So we go in, and then he introduces us to a chick he knows, and then she introduces us to her friends.
Yep.
And we're like, hi, and we started talking to them. Were you standing there, or I can't remember if it was you or Ben?
It was Ben and you, and then I backed off. I backed away because I was like, I started. I have anxiety attacks in bars because I just hate it. It's a low life place. It's where low lifes go to hang out, and
especially on New Year's Eve with your wife.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And so I was like, I am one of these people. So I like slinked off into the darkness, and I was like, I got to get myself a Pabst Blue Ribbon and taste that cool George Washington filtered teeth beer, you know. So that's what I did. I went and got a Pabst Blue Ribbon and watched you guys from afar, just admiring how terrible human beings you were.
Yeah. So anyways, they were all the ladies that were there were very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I did end up meeting them. Yes, they were nice.
We talked to all of them, and one in particular, I was like, "Hey, she's a cutie."
Yeah.
But
okay.
So anyways,
that was just awful.
Well, okay,
that was
so I thought
awful.
she was cute. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You could have just said
she was gorgeous.
You didn't have to do the whole thing that you just did.
Should I verbally describe her or
no?
Okay. All right.
No, leave it.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. She had a shoulder tat. Cute.
Wait, are you talking
dress.
about my wife? Oh wait, no, she doesn't have a shoulder tat. Okay,
yeah, and she wasn't wearing a black dress. But so anyways,
do you remember what my wife was wearing on New Year's Eve?
She was wearing jeans with some boots and like a black top.
Get the fuck out of my house.
It was kind of saggy, and then her black trench coat. And she did her hair, and then she was wearing that Coco Chanel. God, that perfume smells so good. Anyways.
Yeah, take a step back, okay? Take a step back.
Aaron's wife is hot, guys.
Okay, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah,
we need to wrap this segment
up. Okay, so
up.
anyway, so I go get a drink from the bar, and like the countdown happens while I'm at the bar. I'm like, no, and so then we come back around, and I'm even more drunk by this point than I previously was, but I can still remember what was happening. And so we come back around and to rejoin the rest of the group, and we were like, Happy New Year, and they were like, Happy New Year, and I just walked right up and gently placed my hand on the side of her head and kissed her. She kissed back, and it was a passionate kiss for what seemed like several
In some
seconds.
cultures, this would be called rape, but in this situation,
in Muslim culture, it'd be perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. So,
but yeah. So, anyways,
good thing you're a towelhead.
Yep. But so, anyways,
you remember those stupid ass pictures you took one year of you with a scimitar and you put like a towel on your head? You remember
scimitar?
that? Yeah, it was a fake scimitar, and you took like all these pictures of you.
Oh yeah,
dressed like
that was a t-shirt, and I had a fake mustache, like super thick mustache. Yeah.
Right.
That was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Anyways, so
sorry, that just popped into my head.
So I kissed her and then proceeded to get completely inebriated and
all he remembers is running down the street towards this really shitty bar. We went to another bar.
Yeah.
And it's like a punker bar pretty much. I would
apparently I was out of control, spilling drinks.
Yeah, that's whenever
trying to kiss
that's
everyone.
when my night got bad, and then me and my wife left Michael in downtown.
Yeah,
we left him in the city.
Yeah, and I got home the next day,
and he woke up and has no recollection of getting home, and his car was in the driveway. So we only hope that he had someone tow him home.
Yeah,
but if he didn't,
I mean, AAA had that free towing.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Yeah, I'm pretty
allegedly.
Sure.
You know,
I don't have AAA, but they would do it for me, right?
Yeah, it was free for anyone.
Okay, yeah. So that's probably what
we'll say that's what happened.
Yeah. So that was New Year's Eve. So it was really good.
Welcome New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year's. Yeah. I hope you had a fantastic New Year's. Shared a kiss with someone you love or someone that you just met who's really cute, maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Don't rape people.
Yeah, do not rape people.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
We should just say her name wrong anyways.
All right, guys. We're back.
You see this shit with Mary Streep?
No, that's not what we're talking about.
Okay,
right now.
All right.
We're talking about so something happened very interesting. Some people decided to commit a crime. They found this it was four individuals found a disabled gentleman, and they decided to torture and kidnap this disabled gentleman.
Wait, first torture him and then kidnap him, or kidnap him and then torture him?
I don't know. Probably both.
At the same time?
It was
kidnap, torture.
Kidnap, torture, torture, kidnap.
Gag him. Cut his clothes off.
Yeah, they cut some of his face, you know, and they were yelling things like fuck Trump and fuck white people.
Because that's applicable.
And, usually, I mean, I'm not usually okay with this, but so they were for what would be the PC term?
Old white hag?
Black Americans?
Oh, okay.
Were they... Yeah, they weren't literally Hillary Clinton, but I mean, I got this real Clinton vibe from them. You know what I mean? OG, black, hag. You know, no. Anyways, I feel like we're being racist, but whatever.
You might be being racist.
Yeah, I might be being racist.
Be
hey,
racist.
but so you know, the first thing that I noticed, and I just want to like get into this. The first thing that I noticed about it was that the right wingers, Trump supporters, you know, the first thing that they did was like, oh my God, how come they're not calling this a hate crime? Which, the first thing that I thought of whenever I heard that was like, you know, number one, I'm not huge into the whole idea of a hate crime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think that hate isn't actually a crime. Okay. It could be a motive for a crime, but it's not. It isn't actually a crime. Yeah. It's a thought. You know what I mean?
I hate green beans, but I'm not going to commit violence against green beans.
Yeah, right.
I'm just not going to eat them.
Right. The act of violence is the problem, not the feeling that you have before. You get what well, I mean, it is a problem, but it's not like a punishable crime. You know what I mean? It's not a crime in my opinion.
But if in a court of law, anyways, if they can point those feelings to influencing motive, which then your motive turns into action, then the motive.
Right. No, I'm strictly talking from a libertarian sense of like what crime is.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no victim in hate, but there is a victim in action. You know, violence. Right. So, in my opinion, that's just as far as it goes.
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, like I was looking at it and thinking, well, by very definition, in a statist paradigm, this is what a hate crime is. You know what I mean? Like by their definitions, they're saying fuck white people. That makes it a hate crime, like pretty much automatically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By their definition.
And like when I first saw it, like when I saw it on the news, and I didn't think, oh, this is a hate crime. I just thought, wow, that's fucked up. Those people are jerks. They need to be punished, right?
Right.
And then I heard people like start talking about like, oh, it's a hate crime, and then I've heard counter arguments to it's not a hate crime.
It's not a hate crime.
They're black and he's white. It's not a hate crime. And then
that's what I'm saying is
the
like
question popped up into my mind. Then okay, at what point under what circumstances can a hate crime be perpetrated against a white straight male?
Right. Well, according to some people, never. But I do want to.
And if that was the case, and I was white, then I just start telling people I was gay. So no matter what happened, it's because I'm gay.
Well, but then the key factor this whole time was that this. I'm gay. The key factor this whole time was that this guy was also mentally disabled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't put that in there or whatever, but initially, but you know, you hear it afterwards. But so if you don't remember, we did, I don't know if it was Liberty Lampoon or the podcast that we did before, but we did this, anyways, before I rudely interrupted with a sneeze. There was this guy that we covered, the guy who did Uhuru. He did those Uhuru videos. Uhuru, brother, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know what we played it. I don't know if it was on Liberty Lampoon or if it was on a different podcast, but whatever. He's back, and I saw that he did a live stream about this specific thing. So I have a little bit of a clip to play for you guys of this one. If you don't tear out your eyeballs during this, then we'll see you on the other side.
Uhuru. So Jesse, have you heard some of my people kidnapped one of your people, put him in a tub and beat him up a little bit. You know, they scraped him up a little bit, tied him, went on live stream and stuff about it. Have you heard about it?
I did. I heard about it.
Crazy, right? But actually it's not so crazy since, you know, your people built an entire capitalist, imperialist society on top of my people. You know, you want to talk about kidnapping and torture.
I just want to say real quick, I have yet to see a building on top of a black person. Have you?
Well, I mean, if you look, okay.
I'm not.
You
don't
fucking hate me. Anytime we go to the Brady District and go drinking down there, there's a good chance some of those buildings are built on top of black people.
Really?
Yeah, because that's where Black Wall Street was, and then the Tulsa race riots, and they supposedly there's mass graves there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and now...
But if they're dead, they're not really people anymore. Okay, let's just keep playing.
Can we talk about the almost 700 years of kidnapping and torture of African people? The reason why I'm here speaking English in this fluent white girl tongue right now, is because...
Can you be any more flamboyant?
White girl tongue.
You didn't have to adopt that language. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, that seems like a little fake, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
My people, okay, was kidnapped and tortured and was put into this system, okay? So if you want to talk about kidnapping and torture, then you need to talk about what built the United States of America, which was kidnapping and torturing, okay? And the torturing that goes on right now in America. When we have to watch television and see our children being murdered in the streets, being murdered in the playgrounds, being murdered in beds, getting their water poisoned, having their daddies and mommies pushed into these mass incarceration prisons, which is just, you know, slavery.
Does she realize?
It's a he.
Oh, does he realize that what all the stuff that he's talking about is happening to white people too?
No, I guess not. But I mean, to be frank, right now is the point where I'm like, you kind of like, I feel myself agreeing with him about some of these things, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that his movement is as divisive as any white nationalist movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he's saying because these things happen a certain length of time ago,
right,
they should be allowed to happen now.
Right.
Giving no regard
just
to the
opposite.
Yeah, giving no regard to progression that society has quote unquote made.
And that's the other thing too that like really grinds my gears about this whole thing is that like you know, I always tell people anytime somebody talks about anytime somebody talks about privilege, says that I'm privileged and I can't have an opinion because I'm privileged or something like that.
Yeah.
That's denying my experiences. You know what I mean? That's, you don't even know who I am. And another thing, you don't know who my ancestors were. I don't know who my ancestors were. And I don't take responsibility, even if they did terrible things. I don't take responsibility for their actions. And I also don't take responsibility for the actions of the American government. You know, anything that the American government has done.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. Literally. Anyways.
2.0, that's torture, okay? When you push a people and you take our resources away, our gold, our minerals, our diamonds, our lands away, and then force us to be, you know, submissive to you just to get a welfare motherfucking check, okay? That is torture. When we have to fight amongst each other just to live, when we have to rob each other just to live, just to eat, that's what you call torture, okay? So this whole moral equivalency that the colonial media, when I say colonial media, I mean cracker media, white media, imperialist media, white power media, capitalist media. That's what we're talking about, right, Jesse?
Yes.
Uhuru.
Yeah, so that guy, there's a white guy behind him just kind of nodding the whole time, like, oh, yeah, I agree. You know, he always brings white people around him. And I think it's to try to like lessen the blow a little bit of like what the things that he's saying.
Because then you're watching the video and like, oh, this white guy agrees. So I guess, you know, you can't be too fucked up.
Because like the first video was him with a whole bunch of white people around him.
Saying they all need to pay reparations.
Yeah, and then they were going to come and take it. I'm going to come and take it. We're coming to get it. And I'm just like... to me this whole thing is, you know, he's a communist. They got flags up in the back, you know, like Communist Party stuff, and all that. And
well, because you're trying to figure out, are they railing against the capitalist system, or are they railing against like white domination in American society up until, you know, however long ago.
Yeah. Well, but see, to me,
or maybe a little mixture of both.
To me, it's a little bit of a mixture of both. But whenever he says capitalism, I always automatically in my head go like, you don't know what that means. You know what I mean? Anytime that I hear somebody talking about capitalism and referring to the United States of America, I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Capitalism? You know what I mean? Like we have
a market dominated by the government.
We have like... People don't realize this, but I think last time I checked, America was like number 15 economic freedom in the world, and that means like that's saying that we aren't capitalist. You know what I mean? That's like what it's trying to say. Canada, a socialist paradise almost. Well, it's not really a socialist paradise, but they're way up there on economic freedom. They have less regulation than the U.S. has. And you're trying to tell me that we're capitalist somehow? And then he says colonialism, imperialism. He's right about that, right? I mean, there's imperialism going on all around the country, which actually our last story is what we'll be talking about that. But, I just have a real big issue with this guy. I have since the first time that I heard him, but to me, it's just it's pettifogging. You know what I mean? It's moving the blame away from what individuals have done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just another form of collectivism, and that never turns out good. It never does. If this guy could get his way, he would subjugate all the white people in America, right?
Yep.
Which is wrong, okay? You judge people on individual merits, okay? If you want to go and you want to go after...
even if their merits don't meet whatever your standard is for for whatever you're trying to do, you still don't subjugate them.
Right.
You tell them, hey, sorry, we're not going to be hiring you.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We'll call you. We'll give you a call if we need you.
Now, but see, this is the thing too. Like I said, there's things that he says that I do somewhat agree with, but those things are diminished by his bullshit message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything else that he says. You're not going to get a whole bunch of white people on your side whenever you're telling them, you fucked me over, you built a whole entire country on the backs of my people, and now we're going to take everything that you have, and we're willing to do that, and it's okay for us to torture and kidnap you.
Yeah, I think we've discussed it on the podcast recently, or we had a conversation about it, but it comes to the same thing, like, okay, so... 100 years ago, 150 years ago, 200 years ago, there was a great wrong done to Native Americans. Took their land, whatever. But how, like, currently, of the people that reside on those lands now, how is it any more less of a wrong to uproot those people now who have lived there for a couple generations to give it back to someone who's never lived there?
Yeah.
And so, it's kind of a hairy situation, I guess, but two wrongs because committing a wrong now does not justify making a wrong then.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, there is some question about like when the cutoff time is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a whole gray area, but I don't think that I don't think that uprooting all of the people of Israel because of a wrong that was done, however many years ago, I don't think that that's the correct thing to do, in fact, we could have talked about that as a topic this week, but...
Yeah, we decided not to.
But
no, I totally agree with you. Like, some of the points that he brings up are valid.
Right, they are.
And just convoluted and bullshit along the way.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah. Don't tell people that they're oppressing you when they're sitting at home on their fucking couch. You know what I mean? Most white people are not subjugating you,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least I'm not seeing that. So, and we shouldn't subjugate people in retaliation. So, whatever.
If anyone is subjugating anyone, I'd
it's
say
the government.
The government, the cops. That's where you see subjugation on your daily basis,
and that's authority. You know what I mean? What did I do? I don't have any authority.
Are we going to talk about that other video about the cops arresting the people?
Oh, I don't know. But we need to close out this segment, right. So we'll see you on the other side.
What are we commercializing?
Oh, UhPooPoo, Brother Michael.
UhPooPoo, Brother Aaron.
We have a Patreon, Brother Michael.
What? You mean where white people can go give us reparations?
Yeah.
For this freedom-loving podcast that they so much enjoy?
Right. You have built a capitalist, imperialist society on the backs of Liberty Lampoon. Anyways, guys, we have a Patreon.
Yeah, we do.
You can go to patreon.com/Liberty Lampoon, and you can get bonus perks. And right now, even we're currently doing a extended, uncut version of our episode. Uncut, just like Michael. Go to patreon.com/Liberty Lampoon. Uncircumcised. Oh, a poo-poo, Brother Michael.
A poo-poo, Brother Aaron.
Let's get that trending, guys. A poo-poo. Let's get that trending.
Hashtag a poo-poo.
It should be trending everywhere. A poo-poo.
Yep.
Anybody who wants to subjugate you. A poo-poo on you. Okay, so now we want to talk about it. So the Russians, God. Oh man, they're doing it's finally out. I don't know if you guys know this. Reports have emerged on the Russian hack and influence of the election, and needless to say, it is damning. The evidence is damning. Okay, as far as I can tell, the organization of all the intelligence agencies, especially the CIA, the evidence has been given, and I'm going to tell you what it is. It's the CIA said so. So.
And the CIA actually hasn't said anything.
But no, they did.
Oh, did they?
With reasonable certainty, we believe that the Russians did try to influence the election. We believe that that Vladimir Putin, he really ordered it. He ordered it to happen. So there you go, guys.
Evidence?
That's your evidence. The CIA said so. Also, they wanted to once again remind you that there are weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, so we need to be concerned about that. We may have to go back in there and get those weapons of mass destruction. They were right about that before. They're going to be right about it again. Oh, and also the NSA came out and said once again they are not spying on American people. That is, if you saw Snowden, it's fiction. Don't be a conspiracy theorist. It's all bullshit. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, and then also the Gulf of Tonkin, that was legit. It was not a false flag, even though the CIA just recently released documents saying that it was a false flag. Let's just remember it was all legit. Everything's legit. Millions of people are dead because good intelligence. All right, guys? So that's all there is to it. And then also, I just wanted to say a huge shout out to Mr. Lindsey Graham, or Mrs. or I can't remember. Is it Mr. or?
Well, I don't know. According to everybody, he is a Mr., but he is kind of a big pussy, he might be a Mrs.
Yeah, well, huge shout out to Lindsey Graham. So here's a sound bite from Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham.
Here's what I think we should do as a nation. We should all, Republicans, Democrats, condemn Russia for what they did. To my Republican friends who are gleeful, you're making a huge mistake. When WikiLeaks released information during the Bush years about the Iraq war that was embarrassing to the administration, that put our troops at risk, most Democrats...
There's no evidence that it put our troops at risk, by the way.
I think the government did that.
The government did that by putting them in those situations. Legitimately.
In Iraq. Because we had no legitimate reason to go into Iraq.
Really?
Condemned it, some celebrated it. Most Republicans are condemning what Russia did, and to those who are gleeful about it, you're a political hack.
Oh, okay. Can you believe that?
Calling the kettle black.
Lindsey Graham, he's calling you a political hack if you're rejoicing at WikiLeaks releasing information.
Well, in this case, I think it is accurate that it takes one to know one.
I didn't realize this, but I saw like part of the bigger part of this interview. I didn't realize, I heard like this sound in the background. I kept wondering what it was, just this like and then the camera panned over and John McCain was sitting there the whole time. He was, and he would just like randomly put in things like, I didn't even know he was sitting there, and all of a sudden he's just like, I'd like to put something in here. I think that people need to understand that we're not in any way suggesting that the Russians were successful. We're just suggesting that that they did try to do something. So now we're going to have to make sure that we make them pay for not actually doing anything.
We need like a red scare button. We hit it and it goes, Red Scare!
Yeah. The 1980s called, John McCain. They want their foreign policy back. Thank you, Barack Obama.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. Did Barack Obama just slap the sanctions on Russia?
Oh.
And throw out immigrants? I don't know.
What
if
did
they were immigrants,
the Russian government do? They invited Americans to the Kremlin for the holidays.
Hey, guys. Yeah. That economy the size of Italy is really,
taking us to task.
It's taking America, the powerhouse, to task. Well, when you have people, Kent, my brother-in-law, he keeps commenting anytime I talk about this, saying like, these nursing home senators need to get the hell out. That's not what he said, but it's it's like along those lines. Like, go investigate the nursing homes in their states. Anyways, here we go. More.
You're not a Republican. You're not a patriot. If this is not about us, then I'll never know what will be about us. Because when one party is compromised, all of us are compromised. And here's what I'm going to do with Senator McCain. We're going to introduce sanctions that are bipartisan, that go beyond the sanctions we have today against Russia, that will hit them in the financial sector and the energy sector where they're the weakest. And we're going to give President Trump an opportunity to make Russia pay a price for interfering in our elections, so it will deter others in the future. I hope he will take advantage of it. Here's what I think.
So here's the thing about that.
Did you hear? Did you hear the drums in the background?
Oh yeah, it was like
it was a gnarly drum solo back there. I think those are the
yeah, they were pounding that fucking war drum hard, dude. Pounded it. Either that or it was just John McCain's pacemaker giving out. One or the other.
Hopefully the latter.
Yeah. Thank God.
See, okay, I don't know. I said this on Facebook too, on something you posted, but I do not know why people take John McCain's word about the topic of war. Anything he says, I do not understand why they take it serious. Because one, as a young man in active war, he proved awful at it, ended up as a goddamn POW. Okay? Not that POWs are bad.
You sound like Donald Trump right now.
I'm just saying, okay, not Lindsey Graham, John McCain, he's a fucking hack. And then now, years later, he's him and Lindsey Graham with this whole that's, they get everybody on board because it's, they're attacking us. Nah.
They're attacking us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now they've done it over the past 15 years and they want to keep doing it fucking again, sending America's young people, men and women in the military across the world to go fucking die for something that's not real.
Right. Exactly. Well, and then the biggest thing with this that boggles my mind is that we slapped sanctions on Russia.
The government.
The government slapped sanctions.
President Obama, the Obama administration
on Russia, and then. On top of that, Lindsey Graham and John McCain are pushing for even more sanctions on Russia. And
here's the thing: none of these, and these are heavyweights in Congress. All right, they may be rhinos, they may be fucking hacks, but they're heavyweights. And at no time are they even pointing to the information that was released that proves heavy corruption, not just within our government, but within our political system itself.
Right.
And
right. Well, what I was going to say was they're attacking this. They want to attack this country financially that has the economy the size of Italy, but it's a big country. You know what I mean? It's a pretty big country. There's a lot of people. Oil. So the point that I'm making is like we are literally surrounding Russia. If you look at a map where we have bases and where our troops are, we're literally surrounding them. Yeah. Okay. If anybody should feel threatened, it's Russia. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're doing whatever as far as I can tell, they're doing whatever they can to survive. And the fact that we're going to slap more sanctions on them just boggles my mind. It's not an attack on Putin. It's not. No. If you slap sanctions on a country, who does that affect more? Okay, it's not going to hurt the elites in that country.
Nope.
It's going to hurt the people of that country. Yeah. You're going to cause people to starve to death. That's what's going to happen. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't care.
I mean, and
it is an act of war to slap sanctions on somebody.
And our own government does it too. The people here, like they, anytime they expand regulations or come up with these new fucking agencies and all this stuff, they're not hurting the elitists, the power, the political elites. They're not hurting those dudes at all.
Right.
And it's just more shit for the middle class and lower class workers to fucking bear.
Yeah, and it's just real shitty. I don't listen to Lindsey Graham. I saw Democrats that I know posting this speech, this clip that I just played. I saw Democrats posting that like, yeah, go Lindsey Graham. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to listen to a guy who is okay with the American government doing this, the same thing that they're accusing Russia of doing.
Yeah.
They are okay with the American government doing that to the U.S. citizens, okay? Lindsey Graham was okay with the NSA spying. He's like, I don't care if Verizon decides to give my information to the American government. Well, they should. We have to make sure that people stay safe, even though that there is no evidence whatsoever that this has ever yielded, ended an attack or something.
And he thinks it's so absurd for another country to influence another country's elections.
And yet he probably has voted to influence government elections all over the world.
Iraq,
puppet dictators,
obviously.
You name it, dude, everywhere. We are involved everywhere. We do this counter propaganda shit everywhere, okay? It's insane to me. And, I still don't even believe... I'm not believing the CIA, okay? If Russia had anything to do with it, I don't think that we should retaliate with war,
No.
But even if I don't think that they did. I'm really leaning towards they didn't. I have yet to see like real hard evidence that they did.
Yeah, and honestly though, okay, so like if they influenced the election and okay, Donald Trump had won the election, he's going to be president, right? But what actual harm has it done?
Right. Pretty much nothing.
Who is the victim here?
Right. Well, to me, this looks like a scapegoat to regulate the internet, just because that information, that propaganda, is out there from every single country ever. Okay, yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It is, and so you can get that propaganda anywhere. Any country can mount a campaign to influence our election or influence people. Okay, because we have the fucking internet. Okay, people can do it on Facebook. And I don't know, but we need to wrap up this segment and get on with the next one. It just pisses me off. Look, if you're pushing Lindsey Graham's messages, you're fucking stupid.
You're a hack.
You're a hack,
and you're unpatriotic.
Oh yeah, by the way, I was gonna say when he said unpatriotic, you're unpatriotic. When he said that, I was like, yeah, I am.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If you are patriotic, I'll take unpatriotic. I'm fine with that. You piece of shit. God. These two guys, get them out of there. Just get them out. I don't know. Whatever. Hey, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. So, I mentioned, I kind of like alluded to this earlier, but so the U.S., as ran by Nobel Peace Prize winning President Barack Obama, has dropped several bombs this year. A handful of bombs, probably. Would you say that's probably a handful, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, around just a handful. And the thing about bombs, guys, they're not very... I guess the word would be specific, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't really lock on to specific biosignatures and just single out that person,
I mean, they could.
Well, I mean...
But that's not the style of America.
Yeah. Yeah, we like big ones.
More the merrier.
We like big ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uncircumcised bombs. The U.S. dropped 26,171 bombs in 2016, according to new figures from the Council on Foreign Relations. That number marks a 13% increase from the number of bombs dropped in 2015. Okay, so there's this graph here, and Syria. 12,000 bombs dropped in Syria. Are we at war in Syria? That's weird. I feel like do we have a war in Syria?
No, but there is a mission going on in Syria.
There is? What's the mission?
Inherent Resolve.
Really?
That's what it's called, yeah.
Inherent resolve to do what? What's the
arm
resolve?
The rebels and
which ones?
Bomb the civilians.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, sounds right. Iraq, 12,000 dropped in Iraq. Afghanistan, 1,000. Libya, 496. What the fuck is in Libya? You know?
A dead ambassador.
Oh, yeah. Well, but I don't know anything about that. You'll have to ask Hillary. Yemen, 34 bombs dropped. Somalia, 14 bombs dropped. And Pakistan, 3 bombs dropped. Wow.
Pakistan's our ally.
Yeah. We like to drop bombs on our allies. I wonder if Israel's next. That'd be so crazy if it was like 500 bombs dropped on Israel. Oh, really? Fuck. Well, looks like God's going to come and destroy our country. Okay, in 2015, Syria and Iraq, it was 22,000. Pretty much the same numbers, it looks like. Pretty much. Except for Libya. Anyways, so the thing to me is like, maybe we should not, maybe the peace, Nobel Peace Prize or whatever, maybe those people should like not give out peace prizes until they see how many bombs an American president is going to drop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
It just seems to me like, I wonder if they can revoke it.
Yeah.
Would they?
Well, because did
they give Hitler a Nobel Peace Prize? I'm just wondering, because,
I don't know. Didn't they?
I don't know.
Recall.
Should I look that up? Okay, Google. Did Hitler win a Nobel Peace Prize?
According to NobelPrize.org, incredible as though it may seem today, the Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1939
Oh my God!
by a member of the Swedish Parliament, NEGC.
Thank you. Thank you, Google.
He also
Jesus.
was Time Magazine's Man of the Year. At
Yeah,
one
but
point,
that
too.
doesn't mean anything because 1 year they did everyone, and there's got to be some serial killers in everyone. You know what I mean?
Rapists.
Yeah, there's some rapists and murderers. So,
Some kidnappers.
just saying.
Handicapped people kidnappers, and then they cut them up and put them in a tub.
Yeah. Okay. So, I just think, maybe we stop bombing people,
Yeah.
And by we, I mean
government.
the government,
Yeah.
because you're listening. I know you're listening, you
Yeah.
dickheads.
NSA.
CIA,
CIA.
CIA,
FBI.
FBI,
We do have quite a few listeners in Virginia, so.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Washington, D.C., actually.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that's
hopefully
just
that's
Rand Paul, and he's just listening to it over and over and over again. Like,
That'd be cool.
Why don't I get all these jokes? I don't understand why I don't get these jokes. It's because you have no personality, Rand.
Yeah.
None. You're like a wet blanket wrapped in, I don't know, wood,
Yeah.
like a bad wood, though, like balsa wood or something like that. I don't know. I don't like it.
Ticonderoga hardwood.
That's dead. We've done that. We've done everything, Michael. We've done everything there is to do. Hey, so yeah, just stop bombing people.
Yeah.
Let's, I heard that,
Especially countries we're not technically at war with. I mean, if we were at declared war, okay, maybe like.
well, that to me depends on
legality issues and stuff.
but that depends to me on like why we declared war. But we haven't declared war in forever.
I mean, I know your opinion of the Constitution, but I think that's why it was written into the Constitution that Congress has to approve the war, so they know we don't get sucked into bombing people for just no good reason.
Well, we're currently bombing a whole bunch of countries
For no good reason.
For no good reason at all.
Yeah.
And
now they want to bomb one of the biggest countries in Europe, Asia, and.
Oh yeah, remember I was gonna bring that up. Is it like actually like, aren't Russians considered Asians? And I looked it up, and they are.
Yeah.
They are. Well, it depends on which part of Russia they're from.
Yeah.
But they are considered Asians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when I went to not Kazakhstan but Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan.
Is it Kurd or Kyrg?
Kyrg, not Kurd.
Kyrg with a G as in goddamn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy because they they legit look Asian and then they speak Russian. It was a freaking trip. And
yeah, it's like really hard for the American mind to grasp. Like, I don't know which reason I should hate you for. You know,
the fact that you're speaking Russian or the fact that you look Asian.
Right. Are they fat? Are they real big fat people?
No. Well, I mean,
are they burly? You know, like, do they look like Mongolian or do they look like?
They look Mongolian.
Okay,
I'd probably say.
Right. Yeah, they look like the bad guys on Mulan too. The second one, not the first one. I never saw the first one. I only saw the second one.
First one's my favorite.
Yeah, I only watch Disney sequels, the ones that are made for TV. That's all I watch. Lion King 2, great. Huh. You know that they have this new one? This is totally off topic.
Yeah, it is.
The Lion Guard. It's a TV show, I guess. It's like The Lion King, but it's called The Lion Guard, and it's like this little lion cub, and I guess he's a guard or something. I don't know what the fuck he is.
For The Lion King?
But I don't know. I don't even know if, like, I was thinking, like, is Mufasa in here? You know, are we going to see Mufasa? Is this before or after or what?
Prequel?
A prequel, yeah.
This is happening in conjunction?
A prequel. I would like to see a prequel that explains why Scar is so pissed off, you know? He's got problems.
Which, by the way, since the last podcast we did, I saw Rogue One. My God, I loved that movie.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. Made my tits shake every time I see it.
Well, walking makes your tits shake, so I mean, it doesn't take a lot.
Get out of this country, Michael. Get out of this country. I hope you're the first to go. I'm reporting you. I'm reporting you to ICE. Break all my principles. Get the fuck out of here.
I got till January 20th, so I got another 11 days.
11 days until Donald Trump takes over the presidency. I think next week we're probably going to do a peace out Obama because that's what I wanted to kind of do.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good.
But I'm pretty sure he ran out of peace the day he dropped his first bomb.
Oh,
fuck you. No respect. I have no respect for the office of the presidency or you personally.
Did you see all those Democrat senators or not senators, representatives trying to delay or stop Donald Trump from getting elected?
No.
Yeah, and Vice President Biden, because he's the president pro tempore of the Senate.
Yep.
And he all these senators would get up, and they were counting the electoral votes, and they would try to like give reason, and he'd just bang the gavel and say, "This is not up for debate. This is we're just casting votes," and they could. I guess the senators, they could call into question the votes, but it has to be the letter of objection has to be signed by a representative and a senator. And so all these representatives got up and they had their letters, but none of them were signed by senators. And that was the deadline. So if they'd be like, I have the letter, and they'd be like, but I'm searching for a senator to sign it. He's like, nope, too late, and bang his gavel. And he shut them down, and then Paul Ryan is just sitting behind him laughing every time he shuts them down.
Why was Joe Biden like? It was because Joe Biden wanted to get done and get out of there.
Yeah, well,
right?
yeah, and he's following the protocol and the decorum of the joint session to count the electoral votes, because they have to have it done before they get into the begin the actual process. So he just kept it, and it was really quite funny.
I also saw like some crying going on about losing President Obama, like him going away now. And
he is okay, despite all the war.
God,
I don't know. Let me just give credit.
We're going back to the punk rock show that we played, where Michael said, "I just want to say congratulations to Barack Obama."
No,
like in a church.
He seems like a genuinely nice person. All right, like, and so like if I got to meet him, I'd shake his hand. But
right,
you know, I don't know.
Yeah, You made it awkward.
Sorry, bro.
He doesn't seem like a nice guy to me. I have a huge issue with
But could you
pretty
not,
much everything.
But if you got the chance to meet him, would you not just be like, "Fuck you, bro"?
Yeah,
or
I would.
Would you sit down and be like, President, I have some, and just call him Barack. I have some issues with some of the things, and then bring your issue to him, and let him defend himself. Does he not?
I don't know how I would civilly go about saying, like, I have a huge issue with you destroying families and completely ruining
Why wouldn't you just
people's
say it like
lives.
that? I mean, you just totally said it calm with some civility just now. Why would you not say it like that?
I'd probably. Well, I don't want to visit from the Secret Service, so let's go ahead and end this segment. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. Remember to check us out at libertylampoon.com.
Got it that time.
Yeah. As well as you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/libertylampoon.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter at Liberty Lampoon, at Coogie Bear, and at ShotgunZZZ.
Yep. Tweet us, comment, give us a like, a share, bitches, mom complaints.
Please,
we want to hear it all.
Please share.
If you go to our website, like I said earlier, libertylampoon.com, you can find all of our socials there. There's links and some goodies and some other stuff, an Amazon link. But until next time, this is Michael.
And this is Aaron.
And we here at Liberty Lampoon want to remind you to be free and a poo-poo.
Yeah, a poo-poo, brothers and sisters. Whatever communists say.
A poo-poo, brothers and
a
sisters.
poo-poos.
Yeah.
A doo-doos.